Hello, Derek.
Hello.
It's a pleasure for me to interview you.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for asking me.
Thanks. So I'm gonna do a quick interview.
Yeah.
It's a Q&A interview, and just 4 questions, and I like you enjoy.
Sure, for sure.
So the first question can you tell us a little bit about yourself, like do a little intro about you, what do you do, where are you from?
Sure. I'm Derek Riedle, and I am the publisher of Civilized and the founder of Revolution Strategy. We are 2 companies that operate here in St. John, but really serve markets and customers around the world, particularly across North America. I am from New Brunswick. My whole family, my mom, my dad, all my grandparents, everybody's from Sussex. I was born there in 1970. And
It doesn't look like it.
yeah, it's a ways back. But moved around a lot as a kid, lived around Atlantic Canada and a little bit in Ontario. And then my folks moved here to New Brunswick, back to St. John when I was 11 years old, and this is where I grew up. This is home. I went to high school at KV, finished there, did a PR degree at Mount St. Vincent University, and returned home here. And have been working as an entrepreneur together with my wife Terry, who's from Moncton, for 23 years now.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So, and how and when you started your own business?
Yes. I started our first company. It was called Media Planet. The company still exists. It is It's now called Revolution Strategy. We evolved that company. But we started working for ourselves in 1998. Prior to that, I'd worked for a couple of advertising agencies. And then I went to work on the political side of the federal government. I went to work for a member of parliament. And I enjoyed it, but when that was done, I was really ready to be done with a lot of that political stuff. So I didn't know what I was going to do, and I was worried that if I waited too long till we had kids and mortgages and car payments, that we would never actually get started. So we decided to start. Younger than we expected to. I was 27 years old, but it's been quite a journey since then, for sure.
You made me feel bad because I'm 26 and I don't.
Yeah, but it's looking back on it, I don't know. I sometimes wish that I had have waited a few more years and things would have started a bit more smoothly. So you never know.
Yeah.
Everybody's timing is different,
Exactly.
and everybody's moment comes at different times. Ours just happened to be there in hindsight, and you don't know it when you're living it either.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
It all looks like a fine novel when you look over your shoulder.
Yeah.
But when you're living it, it's hard to connect those dots.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, how do you see the market for the new entrepreneurs currently here in St. John?
Look, we've shown that when you take Atlantic Canadian and New Brunswick type of ingenuity, customer service, and commitment to getting the work done, it really works in other markets around the globe. We love living here, we love working here, but the fact of the matter is, for creative services and content, there is not a big enough market in Atlantic Canada for us to solely survive on it. So we go to other places. We work across Canada. We have an office in California. We do a ton of work there. So to me, there's tons of room for entrepreneurs in Atlantic Canada. But if you think Atlantic Canada is going to be your market, I would advise you to think about looking beyond, and getting on planes. There is, I tell you, the one thing that has really I've noticed being an entrepreneur, a New Brunswick entrepreneur who travels around the world, there's a work ethic, a friendliness, and a commitment to getting the job done that New Brunswickers and Atlantic Canadians have in spades, that people really admire around the world. And people in the United States, people across this country really enjoy and like working with Maritimers.
Perfect.
And that, to me, is that's everything. People want to work with people that they like. that's where it starts. It doesn't start with transactions. It doesn't start with dollars and cents.
It starts with the conversation, so people like you, and then there's an opportunity.
You got it. Business is a very human part of life. It's a very human experience, and people really, really forget about that. At its very, very core, people enjoy working with people that they enjoy, and the Maritimes and New Brunswick has that in spades. So I think there's the market is under. I think that there are unbelievable opportunities as long as entrepreneurs have a global perspective.
Yeah, and it's growing. Like the economy here, it's growing, which is really good for us as students. So.
Yes, for sure. And it's such a beautiful place.
Yeah, exactly.
With all these buildings, and I just love it.
Yeah. It's cute. It's a cute little city. I
Right.
love it. And so the last question is, what tips would you give to students who want to be an entrepreneur? Tricky question. Eh?
Well, look, the number one thing I learned was that you're never ready. Mm-hmm. You are never ready. And if you expect that becoming an entrepreneur, going into business for yourself is going to be like working for somebody else, don't. Because the security blanket is gone. You do not have the luxury to always have everything planned out perfectly. So I've often likened becoming an entrepreneur to getting to the edge of the cliff, and you're looking, and you decide to jump, even though you don't know how you're going to land. Yeah. So, in May 1998, what Terry and I did was jump off a cliff, and over 23 years, we figured out how to build a hang glider while we were plummeting to our death, and then we turned that hang glider into a bit of a light aircraft, and now we're trying to make it into a jet. So just start.
Perfect.
There's going to be problems every day. It will never be perfect. And as I said before, things seem to connect when you look over your shoulder and you realize things happened for a reason. So don't overanalyze and stand in the way of those things.
Don't overthink. Just do it.
You just got to do it.
Yeah. Thank you.
For sure.
That was the best one and the best tip. It's exactly what I was waiting to hear.
It's certainly true, for sure.
Yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much again. It was my pleasure.
Oh, thank you.
And I hope we have another opportunity later.
Yes, I'm so glad you asked me to do this. Thank you very kindly, and I wish you well.
Thank you.